What's good? What's good? What's good? What is good? This is Raw Truth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Joined by the OG Coach Joe. How you doing, Coach? Man,
Good
blessed day,
morning. Good morning, DJ. How you doing this morning, my brother?
man.
Uh, I,
Re-energized. The Hornets did a lot of moving and shaking, but what did they really do?
that's funny, DJ. I tweeted something out a few days ago and said the Hornets were with all this activity, looked like they were rearranging the chairs on the Titanic before it hit the iceberg. In other words, just doing a bunch of busy work, pretending like you're doing something when you know you really ain't doing nothing. See, so that this is what they looked at, and then they come on, and we have the draft yesterday. Shout out to all of the young men who were picked yesterday, whose dreams came true, of playing in the NBA, of having an opportunity to dream and for a dream to come true. We're going to talk about dreams a little bit today, family, because this was a dream day for a lot of young men and their families. Okay, some lives are going to be changed as a result of this generationally because of this draft. It's not just about basketball. As y'all know, we always talk about the game within the game here. And so we're going to get into all that, DJ. What'd you think about the draft, DJ?
Uh, I think the draft was. What's funny about the NBA draft is not as what you say. The NFL draft is better in ways because there's a lot of moving and shaking. There was some trades, but it's not. It wasn't like roster changing trades. You get what I mean?
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Usually in
Absolutely.
NBA, and Coach Joe, you know this. The day after the draft is when the NBA try. When it gets closer to free agency.
Facts. July. I think July 3rd it starts, or July 2nd or something. It starts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's when it all starts. Not the Hornets, but the Orlando Magic, in my opinion, drafted the best player in Polo Banchero.
Okay, the kid out of Duke.
Yeah, they drafted the best player, Chet Holmgren. Man, he's skinnier than a toothpick, man.
Man, toothpick. Whoa, if that boy turns sideways, man, you probably won't even see him.
I mean, it's that. I mean, golly, he needs some. He needs some family cooking or something. But OKC,
you know what, DJ? He gonna be one of them kids that just it's gonna be about his strength. He ain't gonna never really put on no big time weight. I don't think. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like he won't be 230 or anything. Let me read some of these comments. Brian Blockchain says, "What a clown show the Hornets are, trading Jaden Duren for the worst picks, making the Pistons better, which they will have to compete against in the future." Yeah, I'm happy with the Mark Williams pick, Coach Joe.
I am too, DJ. Do you want to go through them first, and then we want to break down the Hornets? I want to break down the Hornets. I want to get into breaking down the Hornets first, and then we can look at everybody else. What you think?
Yeah, so we're gonna start with the Hornets of all. I like the number 13th pick, not the 13th, the 15th pick. What I'm ticked off at is for Jalen Duren, a player that a lot of teams coveted, that should have been drafted higher. They could have got more. What they got a 2023 Denver Nugget pick, and the Denver Nuggets, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna be a bad team. I think they're gonna be a playoff team still.
Facts.
So you're not gonna get a high pick from that. And they keep saying, "Oh, we got these second round picks." Man, that it's a hit and miss with second round picks, and most times miss.
And this organization's track record for misses are historic. They're historic in the lotto, let alone the second round. But you know what they'll do, DJ? They'll go to Devontae Graham.
Right.
as evidence that they know how to pick in the second round.
That's success, brother. That's success. We got Hey Bay, Devontae Graham. We could do it. We don't need no legit first round picks. We could just get a bunch of second round picks because we trust Mitch. Give me a
Right, we
break.
trust Mitch. DJ, let me tell you what the problem I had with what the Hornets did yesterday, and they get it incomplete to me. I don't want to give them an F, although they deserve one. They deserve an F.
C minus.
Then I'm gonna tell you, this is why I say they deserve an F, is because Stevie Wonder could have picked Mark Davis and Durant. Okay. That wasn't a hard. Those weren't hard picks. The players were available. They dropped. Okay, so it wasn't like it wasn't like they had some situation where they had to maneuver to get somebody good. Both of the players dropped to them.
Yes.
And then you take the first of your lottery picks, the first one, the highest one, and you draft a kid who, as you already said, DJ, is a young man who is, a comer, a freak athletically. I mean, Jalen Duren is my star, 6'11", the nice wingspan, got a man's body on him, can jump out the gym, and you trade him away for a hope and a wish and a dream to somebody else in the same conference as you, who seems to be building in a way that you aren't. So you helping people out because you got so many presents for Christmas, you can just give some of your presents away. Are you kidding me? Okay, to talk about drafting a piece, a good player, and doing almost nothing with it. Because that's what they did. Almost nothing with it. Mark Davis. I like the fact that they got Mark Davis. DJ, that's your guy. You the first person that really talked about Mark Davis, and so I really like.
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams, yeah, and I really like Mark Williams. I mean, he is, but again, I'm not putting no Melo's. I'm not putting Melo's balls in the basket of a rookie. Not doing it. I still want one of those free agents coming from, whether it's Miles Turner over in Indiana, whether it's Claxton over in the Nets, whether it's Mitchell Robinson in New York, Aiden down in Phoenix. I want a veteran, okay, on this team. And so to me, I thought the Hornets tried to look busy, just to try to give their fan base an idea that they have made some good moves and that they are in good hands. And I just think that it fell flat. They get a D plus for me. How about you, DJ?
Yeah, I'll give them a C minus. Really, I should have just gave my F. I'll take that. I'll give the Hornets a D minus because besides the good solid draft pick of Mark Williams, trade assets was terrible. You trying to hope and wish to get that second round jewel, I call it, and that's just fantasy right there for basketball. And then you still have Gordon Hayward on the team, Mr. Glass, that can't be dependable. And what did I tell everyone on the show? Everybody on this team who doesn't fit LaMelo's game and doesn't believe he's the guy needs to be off this team. Look at the Pistons with Cade Cunningham. Anybody that didn't buy into Cade Cunningham, it's not there. Even if they were friends, I'm sure he was friends with the players that didn't say, "Oh, that's his team already." When you draft someone high, that's their team. It doesn't matter how young the prospect is. When LeBron James was first drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm not saying every player is LeBron, I'm just giving you an example. There was a player, I think Darius Miles, that said that LeBron James had to earn his number and all that crap. Darius Miles was not on the team the next year. I'm just keeping it real with y'all.
He did a oops, huh, DJ? Oops.
Yeah. Talking about the dude, and I remember that interview. He was talking about Carlos Boozer at the time. He was on that Cavaliers team. It's the best player and the leader. And no. When you suck, when you have a horrible season, you draft a number 1 overall pick or high draft picks, it's not your team anymore. Look at Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier, in his mind, he won't say it publicly, but just how he's wired, he would never believe it's LaMelo's team.
Facts. And neither were Gordon Hayward or Plumlee or any. Oh, go ahead, DJ.
Coach Joe, I have to say this.
I know. That's why I said go ahead.
Shout out to Pope, Ryan Krigler, David Quick. Shout out to you, brothers. Mitch Kupchak had a
shout out to the Pope. What's up, Pope?
A draft, what you call a draft press conference.
Okay.
And he mentioned that, Mark Williams will have to compete with Mason Plumlee. I'm like, Plumlee? What the hell? Plumlee? You're supposed to get rid of the scrubs, not keep the scrubs. This is not. Yeah, he said it on this quote. We'll battle for playing time. Plumlee and Mark Williams.
Hunter games.
Bro, if Plumlee, whatever, Mr. Clumsy, whatever his name is still on this damn team, I mean, something's wrong. If the same team is constructed with a couple rookies, don't expect the Hornets to go far. I don't care who's the coach.
Facts.
Because this is not team building. Look at the Detroit Pistons. Already in the second year are giving Cade Cunningham everything he wants. And Cade Cunningham, he doesn't have to worry if his team is doing right by him. If Cade Cunningham stays with the Detroit Pistons the rest of his career, you will understand and say, hey, they're building around him. You see the difference? If LaMelo ever leaves Charlotte, you can't blame him.
Facts.
Because they're not treating him like a franchise player. They're treating him like just one of the guys.
Facts. And see, DJ, I give him an incompleted an F as well because of the fact that, free agency has to come in. And I want to see. I can't grade them until they do something with Gordon, until they do something with with Terry or and Clumsily as well. But they haven't built up any good vibrations for us to feel hopeful. That's the problem. They just blunder after blunder after blunder after blunder. And so, mistake after mistake, and then try to call it progress. We're making progress. DJ, it's been a couple of interesting things in the family in the chat. A couple ones. Muir God 77.
Let me see.
I want to address that.
The top
what he's
comment
saying about them. Yeah, go ahead, DJ. Yes.
No, you talking about the top comment right here? Okay. It says, well, the thing is, they got as much assets as they could for Durant. I wish they got another first round picks, but still they're going to package that and get rid of Gordon. Well, we'll see about that. I got to see it first, brother. He also says, I wish they kept Durant, but I understand why they did. By trading away Duran, they freed up cap space for any deal of Miles. And he also says all those picks packages get rid of Gordon Hayward to get the starting center. Brother, I had to say this, and I know Coach Joe will chime in. Those picks, those second round picks and that first round picks from playoff teams, that's not a good trade asset for Gordon Hayward, man. The picks you already had with the 15th and 13th pick, I mean, that's as good as you get. And then you could throw in an extra second round of next year's draft. But the Hornets love their second round pick so much because they're trying to bargain bin shop for players and don't want to spend and just hope that they could get an 18 point per game score from the second round. Full goal. But Coach, what you think about that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, DJ, you hit point, ding, ding, ding. I feel the exact same way. We've heard a couple of things going back and forth. Wojnarowski is, and a couple people have come out and said that Gordon might be in some trades. See, this is the problem that I have with what the Hornets did. Is that you pointed it out so well, DJ. We saw what Atlanta did immediately almost when they saw what they had in Trae Young. We saw Memphis do what they did when they saw what they had in John Morant. We're watching franchises with franchise point guards, and we see that they're quickly getting to let's get this rolling because we're on the clock. You're on the clock. Okay, and the clock isn't going to stop. So you have to start making moves now. And the fact that they're still reluctantly look like they're dragging their feet. Because again, it's all, it's not just about what you do, it's how you do it as well. It's not just about what you do. How are you doing a thing? That matters greatly. See, and so they don't have a lot of currency with people, with those of us who are Meloholics for sure, who have watched our boy go down there to that franchise and sitting here in the last going on the last 2 years, going on 3 years, still asking the same questions over and over again. When are they going to get their act together? I don't think they're going to get their act together, DJ. I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is just to me further evidence of the fact that they always have some kind of reason to give, some explanation to give when they're the ones making the decisions, as if someone else is making the decisions, or as if someone else has some impact on the decision that's being made, as if it's not just their decision, as if they don't have it within themselves to do or to fix the problem or to address the problem or to do what they need to do. That's what I'm sick of with this team. So I like what David Quick said. Can you bring David Quick back up again, DJ? I like what David Quick said there.
Well, because that's it.
Yes, Melo should pack his bag, sleep with one eye open, and don't do anything bad. Man, oh man. Well, I'm not worried about him doing anything bad, that part, because they already got Melo around the country advertising cereal that they don't even make.
Right.
Okay, so got commercials with people eating cereal that's not even real. So they pretty much going all in on Melo, it appears. And he's on the DJ. Did you see him on the cover of that new NFL NBA video game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's on the cover of that as well. So Melo is the NBA, and the NBA machine has fully embraced Melo in my view as the pitch man, as one of the faces of the league already, and so that's not going to change. So, but this Hornets team, man, this Mitch Kupchak, if he's not beyond his buy sale date, then I don't know what the deal is. I really don't know what they're doing down there. But I am very happy about what Detroit did. Clearly going all in on Cade and DJ. Also, whew, can the Warriors get any better?
Oh man,
Oh man.
I mean,
Wow.
they hit some gems last night, man. That's how you
Oh,
draft.
what's the kid's name? The Baldwin?
Yeah, Baldwin Jr. He's I had him before the injuries. A lot of people had him as a lottery pick, top 10 pick
DJ, he was the number one player in his class
in high
coming out of
school.
high
Yeah,
school.
sure
And
was.
and when I saw his highlights, I was like, you adding this type of size. What is he? 6'7", 6'6", 6'7", somewhere around there?
No, he's taller than that. He's about 6'9".
Oh my God, you kidding me? You kidding
Yep.
me? Did y'all family, did y'all see the highlights
Patrick
of this
Baldwin
kid?
Jr.
Yes, Patrick Baldwin Jr. Did you guys see the highlights that they put on of him where he shot a corner three like Steph and turned around and ran down while it was still in the air? And this kid is 6'9". Man, oh man. I first of all, I just can't wait to see this summer league team. This
6'9" and can shoot, like Pierre Golson said.
right. You're gonna put you get another wing that can shoot. Wow. Wow. And here are these other teams talking, well, look, well, maybe we can get Bradley Beal. Well, maybe man, the Hornets, the Warriors that put everybody on notice, man. What are they gonna do with them? Oh my
Hey,
stars.
Coach Joe, remember what I said last summer? I said, oh, the Warriors, I got them winning it all. And everybody's like, what? The Warriors? They got bounced in the playoffs.
Facts. Let's give DJ.
I said
That's
they
right. Give
gave.
you your flowers. That's right. You called it at the beginning of the year. Go
I
ahead,
said,
DJ. Yeah.
look, Klay Thompson is coming back healthy, one of the best defenders in the NBA. And then Wiggins improved through the season and is accepting his role of being a 3-and-D wing. And then they're adding draft picks who are good. And then they're adding free agencies. They know their role. See, the Warriors do it right. I wish the Hornets can make the common sense move and stop surrounding this team full of ball hogs, iso ball centric players that don't give a damn about defense. They don't want to hustle. They only want, and when they miss a couple shots like Gordon Hayward, they're pouting, bad body language. See, when LaMelo misses his shot, you don't see him going around moping around because he's missing his shot. He's going to shoot that thing again and again until he gets the win for his team. That's the damn difference. And shout out to the homie Don Vitti. He said, what's good, DJ and Coach? It looks like they're loading up for potentially make a move for Westbrook, which is silly, but Charlotte, for some reason, seemed interested in getting rid of Terry and Hayward. Man, they better not bring Westbrook, and nothing against him. Legendary player. But LaMelo is very important to not bring in anybody that takes the ball out of his hands.
You know what, DJ? I've been thinking about this a lot. Probably more than I probably should have. Should have been. And I'm on the fence, DJ, because I got to be honest with you. I for the same reasons that you have, and that many in the family and the chat has said over the time why they don't want Westbrook here. I get it, but when I look at those contracts, the one they just signed with Terry is getting a second year of a 4 or 5 year deal. Okay, Gordon is going to be in the third year of 2 more years on that $130 million deal they made with him. If they can just, because I think this contract for Russell is up next year. I think it's just 1 year. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, just 1 year. Just 1 year.
So if they get somebody, if they bring in D'Antonio, okay, Coach D'Antonio, I'm just hoping that if they make this move, it'll mean more minutes for Book Night. And if Russell doesn't act right, he'll be coming off the bench. And they will have gotten the ball rolling. So those two contracts, with Terry and Gordon, are really problematic, family. And I just don't see yet how they can get out from under it without having to, pay for it. You signed them bad deals, so here you got to take this bad deal back. You feel me? So,
Yeah.
so you know,
They're saying Hayward is better than Westbrook. Westbrook's contract. Well, Hayward is not better than Westbrook. Hayward is injury prone. At least you could depend on Westbrook going to the game. Westbrook tries, unlike some players. You never had a like with Westbrook. People complain about his inefficiency, shot selection,
facts.
the way he doesn't slow down. But no one has ever questioned his durability or effort.
Facts. And
Ever.
that's right, DJ. And that, DJ, to me is why I pause as well. That's why I pause as well.
One of my favorite years from Westbrook was, besides the MVP year, really the season where he played the right way almost was the Houston Rockets. Look at the film. He was able to play with James Harden because they were friends, of course. And in the bubble, they were in the second round, but I think the bubble situation messed that team up. You know, some of their players, just like you know how the Clippers do. You know, the bubble mentally got to them. And they weren't like the Lakers, who was mentally strong throughout the bubble and found a way to win.
Okay. DJ, stop the presses. The Pope say with me. The Pope is with me, family. The Pope is with me.
Are you with me?
I feel you, Pope. Yes, indeed.
I'll say this. I'm not a big fan of it, but as a Laker fan, the Laker fan of me is like, oh, go ahead, Hornets, do it. But the LaMelo fan is, I don't want anyone in LaMelo's way. But then again, if you're just gonna have him for 1 year, and I think LaMelo's gonna do his thing no matter who's on this team, even if unfortunately Plumlee, if he's still on this team, I think LaMelo's gonna progress. But for LaMelo to be a 28 per game score, averaging 8 assists while doing that and having the keys. Yeah, I said 28 points. I know people are going to be like, oh, LaMelo can't average that. LaMelo's averaging 20 points per game with no keys, not being the guy.
Facts.
So if he could do that without getting the keys, I'm sure he could average 28 points per game.
Facts. You know, DJ, I'm with you too. I don't want anybody in Melo's way either. But the problem is with that is that we already have two people in his way: the owner, Michael Jordan, and Mitch Cupcake. You know, this team is got folks pulling against each other on the inside, and that's what the problem is, family. That it's clear that everybody is not going in the same direction. The fact that we're saying what we're saying, it's not. I mean, we're not Detroit today. The Detroit fan base today cheering. Yeah, we'd say, DJ, go ahead.
No. You spit some hot fire right now. Pierre Golston said per metrics, LaMelo would have averaged this year per metrics. If he had 36 minutes per game, he would average 25 points per game this year. By minute. I'm not even talking about the keys. I'm talking about the minutes.
Facts.
And everybody, and what those are average starting minutes for stars, right, Coach? 36, 35, 36.
That's right. For franchise players.
Yes.
Okay. And hopefully, DJ and family, we are done with this. I have no idea what they've been doing with Melo since he's been over in Charlotte. I have no idea what it is. This minute restriction, this babying, this making sure he doesn't get a fingernail hurt. I mean, I don't know what the heck this thing has been, but hopefully it's over. Because I've been watching some. I've seen a few things with Melo here this offseason. DJ, he looking bigger to me. Am I making it up, or is he bigger, DJ?
Yeah, he looks bigger to me.
He does too, doesn't he?
It look like he's putting in some of that good weight, that right weight, we call it.
That iron weight. What LeVar is about. Them plates. Put them plates on there.
Pierre Golston said Westbrook is good for a triple-double, 15 points, 10 assists, 13 turnovers, and he wears designer dresses.
Yeah, Yeah, that's pretty much it. But look, if we can get one bad and take one bad and give away two bads, I think that's a pretty good deal, especially for 1 year.
Coach Joe is right on one thing. We can't to get rid of two selfish players, and you'll get one that Westbrook is not. His problem is again is inefficiency. It's not he has heart. He's willing to sacrifice for the team. His problem is he needs to slow down. Like he's on 110 every time, and sometimes you need to break the game down mentally. That's Westbrook's problem. But if you could get the Westbrook from the Houston Rockets who allowed James Harden, look at James Harden's number. They allowed James Harden to be James Harden and didn't get in his way. Actually, that was his most efficient year. That was more efficient than his MVP year. Look it up when he played for the Houston Rockets. Actually, to be honest, Westbrook had less turnovers that year. Because he's friends with James Harden, so he didn't want to be in his way.
Facts. And look, and DJ, to your point as well, is that there's nothing like reality to a professional athlete. And the reality I'm speaking about is the reality of being traded. And not being traded because you really want it, but being traded when you get to that point in your career and you're being traded because you're at peace. And contractually, this makes a difference. This makes a difference. See, that is not a look that says what do you call it, DJ? They're in the upper what?
Upper room.
They're in the upper room. That's exactly right. They are in there. And so that's why another reason I wouldn't be upset if what Westbrook came here is because he's coming here as that Westbrook. He is no longer the marquee dude that he was. And if the Lakers trade him out of LA, his experience in Los Angeles will be an abject failure. And I got to say, as somebody who has known Westbrook, know his coach that coached him in high school a little bit better, a little better. I've always rooted for him. I've watched him play since he was in AAU ball when he was as a kid. So, I've got a warm spot in my heart for Russ because he was always a little train that could, and nobody expected Russ to be who Russ became, MVP and triple doubles. Nobody expected Russ to do this. Russ has done an amazing and incredible career he's had. Incredible. But all careers come to an end, and he's on the other side of it. So I'm hoping that him leaving Los Angeles, if that happens, will help move his how do I say? Help give him a better opportunity to feel okay about, taking second and third fiddles and just doing what he can. Sort of like Vince Carter did when he ended his career. Get what I'm saying, family?
Right. Coach Joe, man, I'm glad to have you on this morning. Shout out to Ann Learn. He said, "What's good, everybody? Peace and blessings to Coach Joe and DJ." Appreciate
What's up,
that.
Ann Learn? How you doing, Coach? Good to see you.
Hey, OJ, you see this about Thunder? He says, and Macrina, peace and blessings to you, my sister. Thank you for joining.
Macretia Daniels, Macretia, peace and love, my sister over there, and over there on that side of the world. I hope you're doing well. It's so good to always see you here. Appreciate you so much. And Thunder R, appreciate you coming in too, Young G. Go ahead, DJ. I'm sorry.
No problem. Thunder says, do you agree with them giving Duren to the Knicks? I think he's with the Pistons, right, Coach?
Pistons, yeah.
Yeah, he's with the Pistons. Duren seemed like a better than Mark Williams. I'll tell you this about Duren. Offensively, he's got more in the bag, but Duren defensively is just normal. He's not a stopgap center that's clogging up the paint as of Mark Williams. But I will say this. You're better off keeping both big men. Let them dig it out than to trade Duren for them horrible picks. The trade ticked me off more than anything. Because I learned a long time ago, if you got two talent in the same position drafted, and you can't find no good trades, you keep it and let them duke it out. And then you have more depth. But you rather do that than going around taking just poor. Come on, man. The Denver first round pick, y'all know they're going to the playoffs.
Facts.
That's
Unless they
another,
get rid of Joker. Unless they get rid of Joker, and we know that ain't happening.
right. No. That team is so talented. Even if Joker missed a couple games, and God forbid, we want all players to be healthy. What bottom of if they miss Joker, they'll for a couple games, right? They'll still be in the playoffs somewhere or playing.
Facts.
At worst.
Facts.
So
for me, DJ, I believe between the two players, Mark Williams and Jalen and Durant, I believe the best fit for Charlotte was Williams, without a doubt. I would have if they had to get rid of two of the players, I would rather them kept Williams. I think he's a better fit for what you because of the reasons you just gave, DJ, without a doubt. He is more. He fits more of what they need. What have we been talking about here on DJ's Raw Truth Media? What have we been talking about on the show? Bringing in a big that is a rim runner, can play in the pick and roll, can rebound and block shots. There it is, right there. And we get something that's a little bit of a flyer, if you will, a little bit of a good vibrations, if you will. The universe, giving us some good vibrations. Is that Mark Williams has a sister that's already in the NBA, in WNBA, that drafted ahead of him. So he got to keep up. He got to put in the work. He got to get it done. Okay, he can't get outplayed by his sister. And she was a higher draft pick than him. I think she was taken 4th in her draft. Am I right on that, DJ, or am I missing it? So
no, you're right.
So I like Mark Williams all around. When I saw him, when he stood up and I looked at his family and stuff, I just liked everything about what I saw there. I don't know why, I just had a good feeling about it. And something, sometimes you got a competitive families like that. Usually good stuff comes out of there.
The Pope says Pistons shipped Duran to the Knicks.
No, I didn't see them shipping. Yeah, I didn't see that. So, are you sure? Are we sure about that, Pope?
Let me look it up real quick. Let me look it up. It says he's still. I think let me see. Wait a minute. I think he did go to the Knicks. That trade was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. So maybe Charlotte traded him to the Knicks, and then the Knicks traded him to the Pistons, because I'm sure he's with the Pistons.
Yeah, he's with the Pistons, because they're talking about it right now with the. Again, last night was an odd trade.
Yes, it was odd.
What I'm seeing, the latest news I'm seeing now, Duran is with the Pistons. Yes, so the Hornets traded Duran to the Knicks. The Knicks traded. Let me see. Yeah, they made articles today about Jalen Duran officially Piston.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's what I saw. I saw Duran going to the Pistons. They were talking about him down there with the Pistons.
Yeah, Antler, you saw that too. They said Nick sent him to the Pistons. Yeah, they were trying to get rid of contracts. They were trying to get rid of Kimba's contract.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm seeing it now on the draft ticker. Hornets to Knicks to Detroit.
Okay, so he went around the corner to go next door. Okay, I
Right.
get it.
He got
Mhm.
what he wanted, man. He didn't want to go to Charlotte. And here's the truth. Here's what they're not going to say, the Charlotte media. Jalen Duren didn't want to go to the Knicks because not the Knicks, but the Hornets, because the team doesn't have a head coach. That's number one. Number two, they have a history of not playing rookies. Really, LaMelo's one of the few rookies that had to fight tooth and nail just to start.
Facts.
Most of their rookies go on to G League because they believe in this quote unquote G League program, even though a lot of them don't even like Book Knight was averaging 20 plus points per game. He definitely didn't need to go to the G League.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing, DJ. Um, um, uh, when you're when you're an organization like the Golden State Warriors and your G leagues produce people like Jordan Poole, then you have developed somebody.
Yes.
Okay, not this nonsense. Then you've got you've got a system then in place, but they don't have no system in place down there. That was little JB pretending like he had some program in place to look like he was in charge and he knew what he was doing, when he was really just had his eyes closed, playing pin the tail on a donkey with blindfold on. Get out of here. Hitting or missing. I mean, what did we see? We saw NBA teams in the playoffs playing young players, playing rookies that were contributing. How about them rookies down in Golden State that were contributing? You got to be kidding me. And more than just there. You know, makes no sense. What Scotty Barnes was doing down there in the playoffs with Toronto. Got to be kidding me. This was an excuse, to masquerade that he knew what he was doing, and they were hoping that it would work out, and it didn't work out. And the DJ, I don't know if you saw yesterday. I heard yesterday they were still capping for JB on NBA on the NBA.
Yeah,
On
I saw that
NBA
crap
platform.
too.
See that?
Yeah, I saw that crap too, and the Pope said it's not finalized yet. Yeah, they got to work some kinks out on those deals, but it's
Well,
almost
all of the ink has to dry. The physicals have to be taken. All of the make sure they ain't, all of the ink, the dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But if
smart.
it's if they reporting it, then you can pretty much bet that it's done.
Before I was gonna go to the next subject, Coach Joe, you were saying something a couple minutes ago before I addressed the not finalized thing yet. Oh wait,
I can't think. I can't. Maybe to come back to me.
Yeah, Hood Ross says some Charlotte Hornet fans are indeed Stepford fans, but a lot are pissed off at the draft. Yeah, just because they got a couple first round picks from playoff teams that they're not going to have drastic losses, if anything. And then you have some second round picks and a bunch of second round picks. It's just, come on now. I'm not going to celebrate a bunch of second round picks. Now, if the Warriors had a bunch of second round picks, that's a different thing because they know how to draft.
Facts.
And just because the Hornets organization got a couple solid role players, not stars, in Devontae Tebe Graham and the Martin twins, doesn't mean they're the wizards of drafting.
Right. I mean, we know who are the guys who have been drafting real well. We got to give a shout out to the dude down in Oklahoma City. They don't keep the players down there, but they sure know how to draft, and they did it again. They got some great pieces as well. Oh, DJ Dort is going to be is available.
Yep. Hey, I talked about it. We talked about it on the
Dort. Absolutely, we talked about Dort. Absolutely.
He'll hit his threes every now and then, and he plays.
And he'll
defense.
guard.
Yes,
he'll guard.
And I don't want to hear crap about these franchise point guards are playing lockdown defense. No, they are not. Luka's not doing it. John's not doing it. Trae Young's
not doing it. Steph Curry's not doing it. Damian Lillard's not doing it. It's only 2 point guard, only 1 point guard, really, to be honest, that plays lockdown defense in the league. One of them is pretending to be a point guard, and one is kind of a point guard, and that's Marcus Smart down in Boston. I don't think he's a point guard, but he's been playing the point, and he's obviously locked down. And defensive player of the year. Shout out to Marcus Smart. And the guy y'all people love to hate, the Australian that people love to hate, Ben Simmons, is a lockdown defender. Other than that, there aren't any. So please stop with the nonsense about the lockdown defending stuff. The last true point guard that was a lockdown defender, if I'm not mistaken, Pope, correct me if I'm wrong, I think was Gary Payton, the glove. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
See, so DJ, yeah, DJ, because that's just nonsense.
Drew Holiday is not.
Drew Holiday. Okay, yeah, I left out Drew. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach, and learn Drew Holiday. Yes, I agree.
Talfi says Durant dodged a bullet with the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, for his career. Let's be honest. They don't take too kindly for rookies having them play. See, the Oklahoma City Thunder, I know they weren't winning, but they played a lot of young players because they're like, wait a minute, do we want to be a purgatory team just to make the playing game and get their tails whooped, or do you want to build? And the Thunder decided to build. Let's see if it pans out. Detroit did the same thing. Now, Detroit, they won the draft, bar none. They won the draft. They killed the draft.
Hands down.
And they got cap space.
Hands down. Wait a minute, DJ. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a young GM down there, is he not?
Yes.
There's a young GM, huh?
Troy Weaver.
A young GM down there, huh? Woo! Getting it done.
You see, hey, Coach Joe, you see Coach Antler's comment. He said, is that true, Steve Clifford emerging as a front runner for the Charlotte job? I've been hearing ramblings about it. They better not.
Look, just the fact that they even thinking about Steve Clifford.
That's sad.
The big red dog. Even thinking about Clifford. It shows the ineptitude of this freaking organization. Wow. I saw that stuff and I just was like, man, past me.
I'm like, man, this team doesn't want to learn.
That's right.
They don't want to learn, man.
That's right. Facts.
Someone said Durham reminds him of Bam.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Durham to me reminds me of Bam a little bit too. When I saw him play, DJ, do you have any insight on why Jaden Durham, who is really a top 5 player talent wise, dropped that far?
My guess is this is my guess. I think the teams, if they're looking for bigs, like if they would select a big, they're looking for one with more defense, more established. See, these bigs are not complete. Like Mark Williams is a great defensive presence, but he doesn't really have that many offensive moves. So that's why he's in the top 15. Jalen Duren, yes, he has some good offensive moves, but defensively, he's not really there yet. So they're not
So
they're
defense
not
is the reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, if Jalen Duren had, Mark Williams' defense to go along with that offense, that's a top 3 pick.
Then he might be Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
He might be the second because he's freakishly athletic, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. If Evan Mobley, what's crazy? If Evan Mobley was in this draft, he'd be the number 1 overall pick. Because what he could do. I mean, offensively, defensively. I know the Cavs, they were a 5th seed and then they dropped out and lost a lot of games because of injuries. But when they were rolling, Evan Mobley was that guy.
No, yeah, I'm high. I'm high on Evan as well. His brother didn't get drafted. DJ, did LaMelo's them final kid did the kid get drafted from LMU?
Oh, Eli Scott. Let me
Eli
check.
Scott. Did Eli get drafted?
I
Because
don't think
family,
he
if
did.
Eli got drafted, that's all 5 starters from Chino Hill's starting 5 that will be playing in the NBA or playing for an NBA franchise.
Yeah, Eli Scott didn't get drafted.
Ah, shucks. Okay. I see that Shaq's son got invited to the Lakers summer league team. So shout out to him. Shout out to Scottie Pippen's son, Scottie Pippen Jr., for getting drafted by the Lakers on a 2-way contract.
And this is
You
how
know,
hard it is to make the NBA. Scottie Pippen's son averaged 20 points per game, 5 assists in the SEC for Vanderbilt. Still didn't get drafted.
mm,
Eli Scott averaged what? Double-double. Had a Draymond Green with numbers role. And the West Coast Conference, it may not be the Big 12 or ACC, but it's a respectable conference. It has Gonzaga, Santa Clara, San Francisco, those teams out there.
Pepperdine.
So, Pepperdine,
And let's keep it real. Who's come out of that conference? Steve Nash come out of that conference. Klay Thompson's come out of that conference.
No, Clay went to Washington State, coach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Washington State. Shucks.
Yeah.
Who's it? But there's some good players that come out of that conference. Oh, Mobley's brother was drafted in the 2nd round. Hood said. Okay, wonderful. I like him. Cleveland. Wow, that's not a good spot for him with all those bigs down there. God dog. Because they draft Cleveland draft a power forward. He does get to be with his brother. Maybe they're gonna do the brother thing. They're brothers, and they need to be together.
You want to know who has a great scouting department? The Lakers. They'll find undrafted players and find a role. Man, I would not be surprised. I've seen Scottie Pippen Jr. play. He can put up some buckets.
He can play. I saw him play too. And he was the man as a freshman on that team. And I thought he comported himself very, very well. Very well.
Yeah, he got it off the mud, man. I really thought he was gonna get drafted in the 2nd round, but he's in a good situation because the Lakers need scores. They need youth. They got all these players in the upper room, old as dirt. I mean, they on a lifeline right now. So the Lakers got Christie from Max Christie. I think that's the first name. Max Christie from Michigan State. He's a good one. Scottie Pippen Jr. As for Sharif, I'm happy that he made the summer league, but let's be honest, Sharif was not even starting at LSU. You think you can go in the NBA, and this reportedly Shaq's father wanted him to stay in school another year, but Sharif wanted to make his own decision. He's right to do that.
No, without a doubt, and it's super hard to make the league. I mean, the slots there are so few slots. Back to Eli Scott for a second. If he that might be a good position for him, because if he's playing in a Draymond Green kind of role, I can see him having options as a free agent. See, because he would be then a niche player, and if he's good at that, playing that role, then I can see him perhaps getting an opportunity on somebody's team without a doubt, somebody's organization, not the 12 right away, but definitely in the G League.
All right, we got 65 people in the chat. Let's get it to 65 likes.
Who do you think you said Detroit won the draft, DJ?
Yes.
And in your mind, was there any players, DJ, to you that you were really looking forward to seeing get drafted, and who you think is going to be a really good player next year?
Jeremy Sohan from Baylor.
The kid that San Antonio drafted.
Yeah, he got a little. I'm not. He got a little. He reminds me of a baby Dennis Rodman. Yeah, like I'm not saying he's fully Dennis Rodman, but what he does well, out hustles, super athleticism, gets rebounds, play defense. He could guard 1 through 4 literally. And he was very pivotal. Like if you're looking at his stats, don't look at the score. He barely scored 10 points per game at Baylor, but he had a lot of rebounds, a lot of steals, a lot of blocks.
Energy player.
Energy, and and with San Antonio and what they want to do, he's going to step in and earn the respect from Coach Popovich because he's a kid that he doesn't, he's not going to talk in the court that much. He is going to keep his head down and out hustle you. And he has the measurables.
Okay.
So when you're a hustle player in the NBA and you got the measurables, that's a long, good career.
Without a doubt. I mean, I was just looking at the thing. It just flashed in my head. You're talking about wings, man. Talking about is I go back to them Warriors, man. You got to be kidding me, man. Look at the Jordan Poole, Moody, Kuminga, Baldwin, Lee. Oh man. Wow. It's going to be interesting. Wow.
It is, man. They know.
What do you think about this? The San Antonio Spurs talking about trading Javante Murray. I don't quite understand that, but in some ways I do, and I don't like the fact that I understand it. When I talk to, a picture I sent you, DJ, was me meeting Javante. I asked him briefly about how he felt about San Antonio, and I like what Steve Smith said to him at the All-Star game, and he just gave me a shake of his head, which tells me that Steve was right. That's not a good fit down there for him. So for myself, that's the reason why I think that he's being traded. I don't think him and Pop are getting along very well.
Because one thing I heard about DeJounte is that he has his own mind, and
as he should.
And he's from Seattle. He has his own voice. No offense to Popovich and the Spurs, but he really likes. That's why he drafts foreign players more than American players because they're so happy to get to the NBA. They need that NBA money for their family. NBA money for the family goes a long way, and then overseas,
long way.
So they come in just buying in and and they don't have their own identity, and that's why Coach Popovich seeks international players, whereas DeJounte, growing up from Seattle, he's not a yes man. He's going to respect the coach, but he's not going to just
go along.
Right. That's not how he's built. So Matthew says, I thought Popovich retired this year. No, he didn't retire.
He retired from the USA situation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he retired from the USA situation.
Coach, I want to ask you, what you think about Jabari Smith?
You know what? Jabari Smith looks like one of the first athletes that I've ever seen, basketball players I've seen drafted that fit this new wing 3D, can shoot, defend, long, that type of thing. Usually those players were drafted later because you feel like you want to get one that has more potential offensively, but this kid looked like he's going to be ready to go now because of his skill sets. He's used to being this kid to play this all around 3-and-D type of game. Yeah. I like him.
I
don't know if I liked him as high as I did, but I like him.
There's a player in this draft that was drafted number 8 that plays almost like Lonzo.
Mm.
Dyson Daniels. He,
Ooh,
yeah, he plays like Lonzo a bit.
really?
Yep.
So we got our first Lonzo emulator,
Yep.
huh? Wow,
Yeah,
nice,
he plays like Lonzo.
nice.
And it's funny that the Pelicans draft him.
Well, maybe they realized the mistake they made. When I saw that they drafted a guard when they just drafted a guard last year, the
Nah, he
kid.
doesn't. He's a normal defender, but he doesn't play defense like Lonzo. But offensively, there's similarities. And what he does more, he does attack the basket more. He
Can
needs
he
to attack
pass?
the basket. Oh, he can pass really well.
Oh wow, okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe this is the general manager down there, Griffin, recognizing the mistake he made by letting Lonzo go, and he's trying to rectify it. I'm down with that.
Well, Zion did put up his best numbers. I know people, throw off Lonzo, but Lonzo really assisted on Zion getting those buckets. And
Mm-hmm.
some of it, of course, Zion is going to go to the basket, but it was an efficient year for Zion because he had a point guard that was a willing passer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Facts. Facts.
But I can't wait to see his career. What you think about Jaden Ivey for Detroit Pistons?
I really like Jaden Iden. That's the kid from Purdue, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I really like Jaden Ivey. He looks like a his demeanor for some reason. I just kind of get a Mitch Richmond from back in the day vibes. I don't know why, but he looks like a real two to me, like a traditional two guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
real score, really a real dude that is about getting them scoring on three levels and getting the basket. So and he got that body too. He got a nice body too. I think he's ready for the NBA as well. So I
Oh,
like Ivy. I think him and Cade together, man. God dog, woo, that's gonna be nice. And then you got what's the kid that they can shoot threes? Shucks. Can't think of his face. I see his face.
you're talking about went to
Drafted
Villanova.
with Melo.
Uh, let me see.
6'8" kid that can stroke
Sadiq,
that thing.
Sadiq Bey.
Sadiq Bey, exactly.
Woo, I'm
Sadiq
glad I
Bey.
remember
Thank
that
you, Mad
name.
Hat. Mad Hat, I want to get a shout out to you too because you said that you thought Oklahoma City won the day, the draft. You thought that he won. They won the draft, and they did have a very good draft. But we're not surprised though. I mean that brother down there in Oklahoma City, he certainly
Sam
knows how
Presti
to.
is a bad
Sam
dude, man.
Show is a bad dude, man. Sam Presti sure know how to pick talent, man. Come on, dude. So I ain't surprised. I would be surprised if he picked Bus.
Yeah, he does a good job in the drafts.
A great job in the draft. Yeah, great job.
Let's get it to 75 likes, family. Thank you for tuning in. Share this video throughout all social media platforms. Man, I made a post, Coach Joe, and I meant it. I stated that if Gordon Hayward, especially Terry Rozier, but mainly Gordon Hayward, if he's not traded this year, this offseason's already a failure than what it is. I mean, it was a failure by not having a coach and having a coach leave. But it's really going to go in the dumps if Gordon Hayward is not traded.
And I'm with you, DJ, because to me, that's the litmus test of their commitment to Melo.
Uh-huh. Talk to
If,
him.
if they're committed to LaMelo, then they have to move Gordon. Have to move Gordon. Because first of all, the way they've described Gordon and the role that they wanted Gordon to play, to me, is not conducive at all for LaMelo's growth and for it to be LaMelo's team. So, and we've gone over this ad nauseum over the years since Gordon's been there. So I'm not going to do it now, but because we all know what I'm talking about. But if the Hornets are serious and it's Melo's team, and they're going to give him the keys before training camp, we will see Gordon Hayward with a new team. We will see a real center, a veteran center on this team, as far as I'm concerned, and there will be a 3-and-D player brought to this team as well for Terry and PJ. That's my
good points, OG. LJ Lowe says, "Why keep Hayward? Why keep Rozier?" Yeah, it's the most puzzling thing. Most NBA teams, if LaMelo was in different scenarios, of course, different situations, they would have been out of there, no question. Because they would have said, "Hey, man, let's trade these players. We don't want anybody to get in this so-called, stars way." That's what common sense teams do. But the Hornets are they're all over the place. They have no direction. And again, it goes back to Jalen Duren. He didn't want to be drafted by this team. Like, wait a minute. This team doesn't even treat their young stars right. Why would I want to go there? See, Jalen Duren was thinking about long term. Let's say the Hornets draft Jalen Duren. He has a great year. And then they want to be cheap with him in his contract. It's not good for him. So he was thinking about his whole career. He's like, oh, hell no. I can't play for this team. Mad Hat says, we can't afford Miles Bridges unless Hayward goes, much less an extra at a 5. Yep. You can't with the cap and how it is, you cannot. And maybe that's why Coach Joe mentioned that he's not mad if they trade for Westbrook because it's 1 year, right?
Facts.
OG.
Facts.
I understand. Now, I don't, as much as I hate it, I understand it.
Because, DJ, they put themselves in an untenable position. They got to dump 2 big contracts and 2 older players. One that doesn't play very often, is hurt all the time. And big tickets. So it's hard to move that. Who going to do them a favor? Because let's be honest, somebody got to do them a favor. They got to find dance partners.
Yeah, you spot on that. LJ Lowe says Hayward plays when he wants. Then the offense just doesn't gel properly with him in it. Also, I like Terry Rozier, but he's streaky and not good enough shooter and doesn't play defense. Again, that's the most glaring issue. Rozier doesn't want to play the damn defense. And I'm tired of LaMelo picking up fouls because there's leakouts. And then he gets the blame because they complain about his foul trouble. Maybe if we have some defenders on this team, we wouldn't have to worry about LaMelo just sacrificing fouls. Instead of having these undersized Oompa Loompa guards who are out of their way, don't want to defend, don't want to do anything else, don't want to hustle. Oh, they want to be like LaMelo. They want to do what he does. That's the problem.
Facts.
Shoot. This team, I mean, every time either I do a stream or Coach Joe does a stream, we're looking at it and say, what are they doing? You know, it's got to be real good to watch John Moran and these other point guards where even if they lose, fans are like, my favorite player is playing the right way. The team's bought into him, so they're not tripping. But if you see the mess that LaMelo's in, you will understand.
I agree with you totally, DJ. And and so we just need to, I guess, just wait until the 3rd or whatever, or until free agency opens up and we get a better idea of what what direction the Hornets are going to go in terms of moving these pieces. But I'm certainly not happy with hearing Kimba coming back and
Lord.
The big red dog Clifford coming back. I mean, come on. Come on. That's enough of this.
Clifford. Hey, Coach Joe,
Yes.
Charlotte, you realize this about the Hornets. Why do most fans, Charlotte Hornet fans, big up average players?
because they're the little train that could. That's why, DJ. Because they're always looking outside of where they live and what they have, glowingly outside at other people, and they see these places that don't look like them. And instead of saying we are we and we're okay where we are and they're okay where they are, they want to be like everybody else. So not to not admit that, they embrace these long shots, these little trains that could, so that they can have some dog in the race, if you will, to have something to cheer about. Because I believe they really don't have any trust in their organization. They know that they're a flea market organization, DJ, as you said so clearly over and over. This is a flea market team. Okay. They love shopping at the bargain bins. Okay. And we ain't knocking the bargain bins. But when you got your pockets are stuffed and you got cash coming out of everywhere and it's continuing to flow and your equity is on, you getting equity and it's on rotation, you can't justify being at the bargain bins. You taking something away from the people that need to be at the bargain bins. What are you doing?
And Coach Joe, I like the bargain bins. Don't get me wrong, but if
Facts,
I'm making
me too.
Shoot, if I'm making $10 million, do you think I'm gonna be shopping at the freaking bargain bins?
You know, but you won't live at the bargain bins. These dudes live at the bargain bins. They always dumpster diving.
I understand, and I'm sure some millionaires, don't get me wrong, some millionaires still go to the flea markets here and there.
Facts.
But they ain't gonna go every day.
Right.
See, the Hornets is like that cheap uncle that got a good money and a good job, but it's cheap all the way around. Oh man, all I do is thrift shop. That's all I do. But Uncle Charles, you make $2 million a year. Oh man, I was just I bargain bin shop. That's the hell I do. I'm a cheap motherfucker. Yeah. I don't want to spend for ish. The type of uncle that takes a chick on a date at McDonald's. That's the Charlotte Hornets. And Flash said, "Did you hear what Mitch said about Mason Blumley? He said that Mason and Mark Williams will be fighting for the starting spot." I lost it. I had a laugh. I couldn't even be mad no more. I said, "Man, this dumb organization, they ain't never gonna learn."
No, they never gonna learn. What start? JT Lowe said, "Oh, Matt, I said bargain bins are great, but you get what you pay for." You are absolutely right, and the Charlotte Hornets are getting exactly what they paid for too: mediocrity.
They are who we thought they were.
That's right. We are who they thought we were.
Shout out to the great Dennis Green, RIP.
Shout out to Dennis Green. I like David Click said, especially when you bought an NBA team with $30 million down with a down payment. I'm like,
right.
With a down payment of an NBA team.
Well, hey, this is how much they love the allure of MJ. MJ had the cheapest down payment in the modern day of buying teams. I mean, golly, you can't spend and you saving money.
No.
I ain't trying to count, bro.
No, DJ, you buying an asset. You're not buying a liability. You're buying an asset. You're buying an equitable company that grows every single 6 months, every quarter.
Yeah, them old heads. Ryan Coogler said, "Tight old heads that don't want to drop a penny." They like them OGs. They got that good Social Security, got a good, they retired, don't want to spend nothing.
Right.
I go to Costco's and buy all my stuff, man. I I ain't trying to go to Neiman Marcus, I just save money. I've been
That's
saving
right.
for 60 years.
That's right. Like they got a U-Haul, like they're gonna have a U-Haul attached to the hearse. All that crap they bought going with them in the ground. All that money they saved. And this is the cold piece. The people that's like that, usually when they die, the people that's left behind, they mad because they were, so they blow all the money.
Oh, I saw that LJ Lowe, Jay Billis talking about James Ragle winning percentage. Man, what I tell you about the ESPN?
Yep.
They go off of one stat of the year. He went off of this year when they were finally above 500.
Right, he sure did, didn't he? Act like he was
of his whole
somebody.
career.
Right, act like he was scooping somebody. Wait, hey, guess what, y'all? Did y'all know they were 4 games over 500 this year?
But he didn't even explain about the high number of injuries this year that the Hornets played against and got lucky wins. Didn't even mention that. Didn't mention how LaMelo Ball had an all-star year, and then Miles Bridges ascended. Really, Miles Bridges ascending helped because no one thought Miles was going to average close to 20 points per game.
Well, see, DJ, the fact of the matter is, I think that's one of the reasons why I really believe that's one of the reasons why they're so hesitant in a lot of ways over down there as well, because they don't believe. They don't believe. They're just trying to put it together by numbers so that they can say that they're trying. I think that's the gist of it. So, I hate that I brought up little JB because I certainly don't want to talk about him. He's gone, and good riddance to that style. Goodbye. But the fact that this bargain basement flea market team still doesn't have a coach is so right in line with the way that they operate. They will find a way to be a one-car funeral. Okay, to just crash it. They will find a way to screw up, even when it's not very much room to screw up. They will find a way to screw up. And that's the thing about this team that's so infuriating. But we'll see, because they on the clock. We got a couple more weeks, if I'm not mistaken, before that free agency drops, and then we'll see who gonna dance with Mitch. I assume that Michael kept Mitch Cupcake, who looks like he's when he speaks and he talks, I swear, and I'm not saying this as no slight, I'm not saying this as no put down, no none of that, but he looks like he's not in good health.
Mm-hmm.
To me. So I don't understand why he is still around. You mean to tell me there is no young people, no young basketball expert or a basketball savant, somebody that can come in and take over that position? Are you kidding me? Just bad look after bad look after bad look. And then what was the baddest look to me in recent days, family? What was the baddest look? Michael Jordan being the uncle, the grumpy grandpa with his underwear in a bunch, yelling to get off my lawn. Y'all saw the video, didn't you? Did you see it, DJ? The two young boys standing outside the Hornets garage there, hoping to see LaMelo Ball. The door lifts up and they say, "Oh my God, I think somebody may be coming out. It might be Melo. Melo, we want to see Melo." And they end up seeing Michael. And what was the words out of his mouth? Go, get away from there. Go on about your business. Get on out of here.
Hey, yawning. Hey, yawning. Hey, wow. I do got to admit, Coach Joe, Charlotte, you got to up that security. Why is your garage door that open like that to the public?
Thank you. Thank you.
You gotta
To
have better
begin with.
security. Yeah,
To begin with.
I might put that out
Can't
there.
even get that right, DJ.
You can't have, you know
Can't
how
even get that aspect right. It's crazy. Go ahead.
you gotta protect your stars. You gotta have better security in that parking garage. That's the first point. The second point is I wasn't even surprised, man. You know that meme where MJ said F them kids?
Right.
Yeah. That's MJ, man. That's always
That's
been
it.
MJ. I know people look at MJ like, I believe I can fly. Just so positive,
Right.
just I want to be like Mike. But the real Mike is he is what he is, a
You're right.
billionaire
It
tycoon,
is what it is.
selling shoes, getting that money.
Mm-hmm.
He's worried about that bread. He ain't worried
Mm-hmm.
about nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Facts.
Matt Hass says they can't afford to match. Miles is gone. That probably would happen if Hayward's not traded.
Okay, hold on. Let me say something right here, DJ. Matt Hat, listen to me, my brother. When I say this, there is no they can't. It's they won't.
Yep.
Okay, going over the salary cap is what teams do when they feel like they are trying to win. Okay, going over the salary cap doesn't blow up your franchise. It's not some magic line that if you cross this line, you all is lost. Okay, this was an NBA franchise that has grown in equity. That is an asset that grows in equity every single year. Going over the salary cap is not a death knell. They need to stop acting like if they go over the salary cap, that means what? What does that mean? That they can't pay their bills? Nonsense. That's talking points from these organizations that don't want to spend money. So they set up. I mean, imagine me saying this, because this is what they did. Imagine me saying, I want to be an owner in the NFL, but I want rules to be put in place so that I don't spend more than I should spend because I don't know how to control myself. I just like to buy stuff that looks shiny. So I need you to put a rule in place to keep me from buying all that shiny stuff. Well, I ain't for that.
Hey, Coach Joe, it reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys right now. See, when Jimmy Johnson was there, they used to be like, "Hey, let's spend it. We don't care about no salary cap. We got money."
Facts.
Now, all of a sudden, they don't want to spend anything. They had a horrible offseason, didn't get they didn't even get anything worth a pack of pork rinds. And now they talking about they got a chance to win a championship. What championship? Do you see what the Rams are doing?
Right.
Championship?
Right. Wait a minute. Didn't they bring in that kid from Seattle who can do that linebacker?
No, they didn't bring. No. You talking about LA? Yeah, LA Rams got.
I'm talking about LA. Didn't they just bring in another? Who is it?
Wagner, Bobby Wagner.
Come on, Hall of Famer. Just brought in another. Come on, man. Don't talk crazy to me. And Matthew Villegas says Golden State are about $48 million over the cap. Look at them rings.
Yep.
See, too many people. What's up, Superior Trucking? He said, "What's up, Coach?
What's
up?
good,
I ain't
brother?
seen you in a while. Good to see you, there, young G. So good to see you." See, this is that phony argument that people with money come up with, and particularly people in sports come up with, ownership come up with, to not seek excellence. They come up with this phony argument, this phony scenario where somehow they can't afford to be in the game. Where if you can't afford to be in the game, you can't pay to be among the best, then sell your franchise to somebody that can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but these excuses are ridiculous. Nobody's listening to that nonsense.
This is just a bunch of bull crap talking about the cap. You know what I think about cap? Cap is cap.
Cap is cap.
It's all
right,
cap.
Cap is cap. That's right. Cap is cap.
All that's cap, man.
That's a fact. Cap is
Again,
cap.
Matthew pointed out Golden State Warriors are over 48 million over the cap. But they generate money. Yeah. They ain't tripping about that.
at all.
You got to spin to
At
win,
all.
man. That's how pro sports work. And if the Rams win it again this year for the NFL, I wouldn't be surprised because they spent to win. They weren't afraid. Uh, and speaking of spending, that's what they did with Matthew Stafford. They didn't worry about, oh, Matthew Stafford had a bad record. Look, he played for the Detroit Lions. I mean, you could list a bunch of quarterbacks, and you could put Tom Brady for the Detroit Lions, and they're not winning enough still. That's how bad that organization is. But the Rams saw a great, talented quarterback, put him in the right system, spent that money. They don't care about the cap. Another team in the AFC, the Chargers. They got Khalil Mack, the team on Bosa, and the stingy defense. They don't care about no cap.
Facts.
Just excuses for these owners not to spend, trying to win.
That's exactly right. Again, I gave the scenario. You need to protect me from myself. I mean, that's the only reason why. Think about it, family. Why is there a salary cap anyway in any of these sports? It's to protect owners from protect these grown men from doing stuff that they shouldn't do. Most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. And then try to blame the players for bargaining faithfully in their union.
Right.
As if it's because they can't control their own, and they can't keep people in their employ who are smart and who are innovative and who understand how to do this thing.
And Coach, you see this right here. JSN says Hornets had a great draft and people are crying. LOL. Great draft. What? When did the Hornets have a great draft?
DJ, he's right. He is right. They did have a great draft. He's absolutely right. A great draft for him. This is one of the people that we're talking about.
Yep.
Who has bought the Kool-Aid. A great draft.
Wow.
Wow.
Coach Joe, so far right now, the Hornets are in the same situation they were last year, right?
Facts. And their situation have not changed. So how great did it improve? They brought in a rookie. DJ, they brought in a rookie big man.
Number 15 overall. That's not going to change your fortunes, man. That's that bargain bin mentality. Let's hope that this 15th overall pick, 20th selection, 30th second round pick, let's hope they grow. If you're hoping for prospects to grow instead of spending to win,
facts.
You're not in the business of trying to be a champion.
That's right. Look at what LJ Lowe said. DJ, put his chat up there, will you please?
Yeah, go. Yes, right there. Go.
These are facts, not my opinion, DJ's opinion, or anybody else's opinion. Golden State pays $74 million in luxury tax. Clippers $43 million. Milwaukee $4 million. Brooklyn $11 million. Boston $12 million. Dallas $11 million. Utah $10 million. Philly, Atlanta, and LA, all but the Lakers were in the playoffs. So there it is right there. So that bargain basement flea market mentality they have down in Charlotte, on this show, y'all can pass us with that mentality. We don't subscribe to that here. There is no empty cupboards in our view. We see an ownership that has equity. Michael Jordan is a billionaire. I don't know what you're talking about. What they talking about, DJ?
I'm still trying to figure out. Superior Trucker says, who y'all think gonna be the new head coach who you think gonna be the new head coach, DJ? Probably Mike D'Antoni, but this is the Hornets, so if they pull a rabbit out of Ace's hole and try to sign Steve Clifford, man, this team is not going to win anything, and I'll just watch LaMelo for stats because they're not going to go anywhere if they do that hire. That's just my opinion. Best move now, of course, they ain't going to go Mark Jackson because he's blackballed. Hire D'Antoni, get a defensive assistant, and build that way. And if you want to go younger, get Quinn Snyder or something. But a reputable coach. Please be a coach over 500 for crying out loud. That should be simple, but for some reason the Hornets make everything tougher than what it should be. Everything tougher. So they should hire Mike D'Antoni and get some defensive coaches to make sure everything's solidified. But all this chatter about bringing Steve Clifford back, I heard another one, bringing James Borrego back. Why? So they could get their ass kicked in a playing game? Yeah, if Clifford's an assistant for defense, yes, not as a head coach. Yeah, a lot of people like the Mark Williams pick. A lot of Hornet fans or fans of LaMelo, they like the Mark Williams pick. I think everyone on this chat agree with that. Their problem is how they got nothing in return for the Jalen Duren trade. Ant Learn says, how are you a black owner and don't interview for a black coach? Yeah, that's the most puzzling thing. But I learned a long time ago that all skin folk is not kinfolk. And yeah, that's just sad. Not even Sam Cassell, brother, who deserves a head coaching job. And I know people are going to say, like, well, Sam Cassell didn't put his name in the hat for a head coaching job. So that if an owner wants to hire a head coach from the assistant coaching position, they could do that per request. It happens all the time. How many head coaches you've seen throughout the years where they're not even looking for a head coaching job, but there would maybe a team that wants them, and then they, negotiate and then they sign with that said team. It happens all the time. David Quick says, I would lobby for Sam Cassell, but he would ruin his trajectory. Matthew says, if we use the 23 first round pick to get a bona fide starter, I'm down. That 23 pick is not going to be a high draft pick. The Denver Nuggets, I don't think the Denver Nuggets is going to have a bad year. As long as they got Jokic, that's not gonna be a good draft pick. OG,
I'm back, Jay.
Yeah, I was reading the comments.
Okay, thank you so much. I made it.
Omaha King said, what you gonna say, OG?
No, nothing. Go ahead.
No, I was reading Omaha. He says Bryce McGowens is a good draft pick. LaMelo will make him a better scorer. Yeah, he's a sneaky good pick.
Wait a minute, who is this?
Bryce McGowens. He played for Nebraska.
And where was he picked?
Let me see. He was
second round?
Yeah, second round.
And what's his measurements?
6'5". Let me go back. Because I just pulled this. Bryce McGowens. Okay. So Bryce McGowens, 6'6", 181.
Okay, yeah. He'd be lucky if he played with LaMelo.
Yeah. But I can't wait to see what he does in the summer league.
Remember, family, that Book Night still has a lot of play to play next year.
Mm-hmm.
So before we start talking about somebody else being, and as we stand, Tyrion hasn't gone anywhere. Okay, and we don't know if he's going to. Okay, so the Hornets don't need, to me, unless they agree that we are going to build around LaMelo. We're only going to put together pieces that we believe fit with Melo's game, and they start making decisions that way, and irrespective of age or how long they've been in the NBA, based on potential and what they
Yeah.
think they need. Then I'm fine with that. But they're not doing that yet. They still have too many. I mean, they're not like the Warriors, who have an amazing blend of veterans and youth. Amazing blend from a perspective of what they do on the court. The young dudes that are down in the Warriors, they are, through their play, are supporting the veterans. The veterans aren't really carrying them that way. They're contributing. See, the Hornets don't seem like they want to go in that direction. They seem like they want to keep putting on those bad patches on that inner tube instead of just getting another inner tube, a new inner tube, and stop patching that other one up. It's got too many patches on it to begin with. You need a new inner tube. They keep trying to patch the same one up. It's not going to work.
It's not. And JSN says Mark Williams is Rudy Gobert 2.0, and the Hornets have to sign Miles. That's why they made the moves they made. These fools talking.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Leave that up there, Jay. Leave that up there for a second,
Right.
DJ. Leave that one up there. So wait a minute. Isn't Rudy Gobert a former defensive player of the year?
Yep.
So you comparing a rookie who played at Duke, who has holes in his game, to a dude who is defensive player of the year more than once, and who is what, 7'2"?
Yep.
I think that's a stretch.
It is. It's funny that Sean's are saying we don't know what we're talking about, but we're not comparing rookies to ready-made impact players in this league. Come on now, Mark Williams is Rudy. If Mark Williams was Rudy Gobert 2.0, he would have been a number 1 overall pick.
Thank you. Are you kidding me?
A Rudy Gobert 2.0 has to have more of an offensive arsenal along with that shutdown defense. So that's what you're saying about Mark Williams. I like the Mark Williams pick, but I'm not going to go as far to say he's Rudy Gobert 2.0 when he doesn't have the most standard post moves in the league, when he's not defending at a Rudy Gobert level. Again, making excuses for a bad organization.
Wait a minute. It's not even just. See, this is the thing. This is the thing about that statement to me. Why that statement is so out of step with reality in this instance. Rudy Gobert is the anchor to the Utah Jazz's defense. For you to be an anchor to a defense, you have to know how the NBA game is played. You have to have experience. You have to know what's going on. This kid has no clue how to play defense in the NBA. And you comparing this dude 2.0. Really? No. He's not even. Can he be 1.0 Mark Williams?
Yes.
How about that?
And we like the pick, but we're not going to say he's Rudy Gobert 2.0.
We like him, of course. We absolutely like him, but he ain't no man. How many years has Gobert? I mean, Rudy Gobert won Defensive Player of the Year and been all defense, or second team all defense almost every year. Am I lying?
Right.
And you comparing this dude who was not the college defensive player of the year. Was Mark Williams the college defensive player of the year?
He's an ACC defensive player of the year.
No, college basketball. Was he the college basketball's defensive player of the year? No.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. So please, you're gonna compare some dude who wasn't even the best college big man defender. And he shot 70% from the free throw line, not 80. Shot 70, about around 70%. He shoots the free throws pretty decent for a big man. But still, comparing him to that dude, come on.
Yeah, I think Mark Williams is going to have a solid career, depending how the Hornets utilize him. But he needs to be the best Mark Williams he could be. Comparing him to Rudy Gobert, a multiple-time defensive player of the year, is far-fetched. Again, if he was even if he was a standard version of Rudy Gobert, that's a top pick.
Top pick. I mean, DJ, in this day and age, in the NBA today, where the NBA is a 3-and-D league and a 3-point shooting league, 3-point shooting and going to the basket league. A anchor that can move his feet is a great pick in today's game. And the reason it's so hard to find them, look at the finals that we just finished playing. The biggest dude on the court was Williams.
Mm-hmm.
For Boston. But Golden State had Draymond Green at the center position a lot as well. So that's and they won 4-2. Okay, with a lineup of Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, and Draymond Green. No big man on the floor because of the way that Draymond and the way they play defense. So if you don't have a big dude who can move his feet and play defense and do today's game, then you don't have a piece. That's the reason why Nick Richards has been on the bench for so long and never really gotten any light, apart from the fact that JB doesn't know how to evaluate, but he hadn't improved as much. Mark is going to get his opportunity. He's going to get his opportunity, hopefully, and I'd love to see him do well. But calling the dude the 2.0 of a dude who is former defensive player of the year and one of the best defenders in the game is a stretch to me. Real big stretch.
Omaha Casey King says, I'm a Duke fan. Mark Williams' play style is nothing like Rudy Gobert. That's a silly comp. Mark Williams is strong and powerful big. Stop the comparisons.
Well, what I saw of Mark Williams when I watched Duke play this year, I didn't see him. He didn't remind me at all of Rudy Gobert.
No.
Or Rudy Gobert type center either. He looked more like a Ayton type center, a Mitchell Robinson type center.
That's what I got from it.
That's what he looked like to me. He didn't look like Rudy Gobert type center to me. So I don't know.
And Coach Joe, any last words before we roll out, man? This has been exciting stream and fun stream.
Yes, absolutely, DJ. First of all, I want to thank all of the family that came in today on the chat. And before we leave, I want to bring up one topic here that I want to just say something, briefly about. And that's this decision that came down from the Supreme Court today in the United States to overturn a law, which was a privilege and a right for millions of Americans, which was Roe v. Wade, a right to an abortion and a right to women's health care overall, is really what it was, what that is about. Because I have 5 children, okay, and I know from my own experiences that having a baby and going through that whole process is not smooth and easy all the time. It's difficult, and it can be dangerous for the mother. Dangerous. There are many women that die in childbirth in this country. I'll repeat, there are many women that die in childbirth in this country. And this is the first time in my life, and the first time that I have noticed in the lives of Americans, where a right, a privilege, a right that we had that was in the Constitution, brought about because of the way that we do business here and politics and laws here, and now it is gone. And there are people that are going to make this they're going to try to make this be about whether having an abortion is the right thing or not, when that's not really what this is about at all. This is about the ability for us to live by the Constitution of the United States and the Declaration of Independence, that we all have the right, the inalienable right, to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That we have autonomy and the right to our own bodies. And this right here is a slippery slope that, to me, I see as a harbinger to other rights being taken away from Americans. And I just want to tell people this, and the family this: when one right goes away from somebody else, believe you me, it ain't coming. More is coming down the line. And we are enjoying, I'm a former Marine. I fought for this country, and I fought for this country for a lot of reasons. One of them is for the Constitution of the United States, the Declaration of Independence. That's the reason I joined, one of the reasons I joined the Marine Corps, and one of the reasons I put my life on the line. And to see people who don't value that, who have politics in their minds and ego-based stuff in their minds, lie before they came onto the Supreme Court and say that they wouldn't do this, and then went right ahead and went up there and lied and didn't keep their word and did exactly what they said they weren't going to do. See, those of us who are from my tribe, we know what we're talking about. We used to the certain segment of our society going back on their word, pretending like they didn't have a word, pretending like you don't know what they're talking about. You lying to me. No, I'm lying. I'm not lying. I never told you. Yes, lying. So I want to encourage us to remember that part of being an American, even though we don't hear that anymore, part of being an American citizen means to be awake and alert to what is going on, and to being an active participant in our country. A democratic republic, in which this is, requires that the citizens be aware and be awake and be critical and be read and care about it. Care about how it's ran, care about who runs it, care about how all are treated. And for too long, we have been sitting on the sidelines of America, being anesthetized by all of the material things that America has brought us, the material stuff. And meanwhile, there have been people working against our rights as people because they want to control us and tell us where to go, how to go, when to go, and where to go, and how long to go.
Coach Joe, can I read this real quick?
Yes.
It goes on to Dondre says, what about forced vaccines? If you understand what Coach Joe Like, let me put it in terms. We don't believe, any right person doesn't believe the government into controlling anyone's life on what they do with their bodies. Choice. That's all we're talking about. So whatever choice you have, no matter who disagrees, every human being should have the right to do whatever they want. That's as long
Within
as
the
it
law.
doesn't within the law. That's all we're saying.
And this is the other thing, DJ. Dondre, let me say this: forced vaccinations. When I was growing up, they did forced vaccinations, and we were vaccinated against measles and mumps and polio. We couldn't go to school if we weren't vaccinated, and those vaccinations didn't kill us. I grew up with a neighbor across the street from me, DJ and family, my age and my grade, who a young man named Michael, who had polio. I grew up with a kid with polio. I know how it affected his life. What a horrible disease it was at the time. And I'm so glad to see so many people who after that who didn't have to go through what Michael had to go through in his life, living with polio. Ask some people who live with chronic diseases if they wish they had a cure for them, a vaccine for them, like lupus or MS. Ask people who suffer from these things if they wish they could have a shot. I have never in my life heard, never seen the most silly thing I've ever seen in this country over what we've gone through in the last 10 years, 2 years, people arguing about the ability for somebody to receive something that will help them stay alive. But what it is we've gotten to a place where we don't believe nobody. And that's what new media is. I mean, what raw media, RawTruth media is about. That's what we're about here, to uncover and show the truth. That no, we're not going to let them lie anymore. Keep lying and lying and lying, and pontificating, just lying. No. We're not going to just put up with that anymore. See, and so this is the thing. Dondre said, "Get vaccinated or lose your job." That's pure evil. How that was disseminated we can discuss it all day long. How it was disseminated, but to say that it wasn't needed is ridiculous. Because we have more deaths in this country from COVID than anybody in the world. See, so I just want us to wake up to the truth of what's going on amongst us in our country that we live in today, in the United States of America. This is a participation sport. A democratic republic is, and it requires the citizens to be awake and to be active, to be a participant in how their lives are governed. And that's what I'm most encouraged about, that hopefully that this brings about. People to wake up and not take things for granted, that we all have a part to play in our democracy, our democratic republic. We all have a part to play. And everybody's voice is important. Everybody's voice is important. So DJ, thank you again, and thank the family for coming in today and talking about this thing that we love to talk about, the Charlotte Hornets with LaMelo Ball. All us Meloholics care very much what happens to him, but we also are grateful for the opportunity to talk about life as well. So I thank you guys so very much. And like I always like to say, DJ, you wanted to say anything to what I said, shared, or we ready to go out?
No, it should be understood. My thing is, hey man, these discussions are always needed. Open mind, and that I don't think I don't think the government should force anything on people. I've I've always been that type of person. So
Right.
um, yeah, I'm just trying to be consistent.
Yes. Listen,
I can't say I don't want the government not involved, and then you're asking the government to be involved. I can't be a hypocrite.
but see, DJ, this is what I want to. That's a great point you just came up with. But see, listen, this is the thing that we have to remember. It's okay for us to grow, learn, and change.
Mm-hmm.
Not all threats are the same. As a general rule, I'm not for forcing anybody to do anything against their will either. Most of us are not probably feel that way. But I'm a former Marine and I'm a former soldier, and I know the world exists differently than many of us understand. And I'll leave it at that. And so have a wonderful day. As I always like to say to the family, Ubuntu. Because of me, you are. Because of you, I am. We are one. Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed and rest of your day. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you
Peace
next
out.
time.
Peace and love to everyone.
Peace.